You're listening to the Secure Dad Podcast. Discover ways to protect yourself and your family at home, in public, and online. Welcome, friend. I'm Andy Murphy, the creator of The Secure Dad. This podcast serves to help people become proactive in their safety. The information I share on this podcast is for general information purposes only. My goal is to empower you to make safer decisions for yourself and your family, because our safety is our own responsibility. Today, we're going to be talking about doxing. I will share what it is, how it's done, and what you can do to protect yourself and your data online. All of that and more ahead on the Secure Dad Podcast. What if you could protect your family's online data in just a few clicks? Delete Me is now offering a simple way to protect not only your data online, but the personal information of your family members too. The Delete Me family plan offers super simple controls that let you take charge of privacy settings for everyone in your family. That's right, any family member 18 years and older can now be protected in one comprehensive plan. The plan includes individual data sheets on each member, so you can get a detailed look at how your family's data is being removed from the internet. Go to joindeleteme.com/dad. There you can get 20% off a privacy plan when using the code DAD at checkout. Breathe easy knowing your loved one's information is being removed from harmful sites. See why I find Delete Me essential to my family's privacy at joindeleteme.com/dad and use promo code DAD to get 20% off today. Delete Me is a sponsor of the Secure Dad Podcast. I'm excited to announce I have published a new ebook. Home Security for First-Time Homeowners is now available exclusively at thesecuredad.com. This 12-page guide offers new home buyers key insights to securing their new home. Plus, there's a 2-page checklist to help you track your success. I share everything I wish I had known when I bought my first house. For more information, click on the link in the show notes or go to thesecuredad.com. So today on the show, I'm talking about something that I've actually wanted to cover for a really long time, so I'm glad that I'm finally getting to devote an entire episode to it. And our topic today is doxing, and that is something that has become increasingly common in our digital age. Only a few years ago, we'd never heard of this term, didn't know what it meant, didn't know how to spell it. Sometimes it has one X, somehow it has two X's. What is it? So this is actually something that is kind of plaguing all of us right now. So let's break down what doxing actually is. Doxing is the act of revealing someone's private information online without their consent. This information can include things like your name, address, phone number, social media profiles, even your financial information. It can also reveal your online dating profiles, your work history, private messages, and a whole lot more things that you just don't want everybody knowing. So all of these things that you don't want other people to know can be exposed under the umbrella of doxing. If you're listening to the show, you might think, well, hey, Andy, that's great, but I'm just a normal person. I'm an average person. Nobody's going to target me. Why would I ever be the target of doxing? While doxing does affect politicians and celebrities, it can also be done to gamers and teachers and people just like us. Now, I don't really want to hype this threat, but in all honesty, I can't tell you that you won't ever be doxed. Sometimes doxing happens in data breaches, and it's nothing personal, but your information is still exposed. As a matter of fact, right here on my desk right now are 3 letters from a financial institution that says my family's data was exposed in a data breach. The information includes my name and my social security number. What was my crime? I was just a customer. So let's talk about malicious doxing. Why does that happen? Well, doxing can happen for a variety of reasons. Sometimes it's used as a form of intimidation or harassment. Maybe you said something online that angered someone, and they're trying to make your life miserable as a result for winning the argument. Other times, doxing can be used to damage someone's reputation or even put them in physical danger. But it boils down to somebody wanting payback or to see a way to elevate themselves over you by sharing and doling out your personal data. So let's take a look at the process of doxing and how it works. Typically, doxers are going to follow a 3-step process. First, they find their target. It could be you, a celebrity, a politician, or anybody else. A student could dox a teacher's online dating profile. An ex-employee could expose employee information in revenge for being fired. You could win an argument on Instagram and then the loser publishes your home address. So the target selection is varied and sometimes it's very, very personal. Next, they collect information about their target. Now, this is done through various sources online, like social media profiles, public records, and data brokers. Those people search sites are a goldmine for internet trolls, scammers, and doxers. And finally, they publish that information online, often on websites, social media platforms, and then there are actually some forums that are specifically dedicated to doxing, where people can go and find whatever information they're looking for. Now, at this point, you've got to wonder, are there any legal ramifications to this? This has to be illegal, right? The legality of doxing depends on how the information was obtained, the intent, and then how it was used. I know that's probably not the answer that you want. That's not a very cut and dry black and white answer, but that's kind of what we're left with at this point. In some cases, doxing can be considered a cybercrime or a violation of stalking or harassment laws in your state, so you're going to have to do a little bit of research there. In fact, California is looking at passing a law that specifically addresses doxing, which I think is good. But some states actually allow you to sue a doxer in a civil action. While the phrase doxing does not appear in a federal law at the moment, there is a protection in certain circumstances for some people. It's entitled The Protection of Individuals Performing Certain Official Duties. That's the name. I could have come up with something better, but that's the actual name. And this actually does not cover the vast majority of American citizens. So unless you are in the military or involved in a federal investigation or court case, you are not covered by this federal law. But if you feel threatened or harassed by being doxed, then I want you to contact local law enforcement. There are laws against harassment and threats, so play to that aspect of this. The doxing is an act that demonstrates the abuser's intent, so think about it like that. So now let's discuss some ways that we can protect ourselves from doxing. First of all, be mindful of what you share online. Don't put too much personal information out there on social media. I want you to use strong, unique passwords and enable two-factor authentication on all of your accounts. I do that. It's a pain, but it's absolutely worth it because you know you're going to keep your stuff safer than the average person. Remember when I said those people search sites are a goldmine for doxers and scammers? Those sites are the easiest way for people with bad intentions to get your information, and it's all legal to buy. Now, if the information that somebody buys is used for doxing, well, then that violates the terms and conditions. But that's nothing, considering your name, address, birthday, and phone number are now published online for anybody to see. The people who do this, they don't care about violating terms and conditions. The best thing that you can do is delete your data from these people search sites, and that's why I use and recommend Delete Me. I've been their customer since 2018, and I have seen my data disappear from sites like White Pages, and that's them. If a doxer searches for you across 4 or 5 people search sites, and your information isn't there, that's a really good day. If you want to have your personal information removed from these sketchy sites, there's more information about Delete Me in the show notes. If you believe that you've been doxed, here's what you can do. First, I want you to gather evidence by taking screenshots or downloading copies of the doxed information and hold on to it. Then report the doxing to the platform where the information was shared, so hopefully you can get the post removed. If you feel threatened, contact your local law enforcement agency. Again, make it clear that you are being harassed or threatened and that the doxing is evidence of that intent. Doxing is a serious issue, but by following these tips, you can make it much harder for somebody to target you. Remember, staying safe online is an ongoing process. By being informed and vigilant, you can minimize the risk of being doxed and create a safer online environment for yourself and your loved ones. Well, that wraps up this episode of the Secure Dad Podcast. I appreciate you being with me for this one. Take back your privacy and your personal data with help from Delete Me. Get 20% off a privacy plan when using the code DAD at checkout. There's a link in today's show notes. Get your copy of Home Security for first-time homeowners exclusively at thesecuredad.com. You can get started with the link in the show notes. If you'd like for your child to have a smartphone but not access to the whole entire internet, consider a Trumi phone. My family uses one all the time. Use code TheSecureDad at checkout for $50 off a phone of your choice. If you'd like to know more about The Secure Dad, join me on Instagram or X. My username for both platforms is TheSecureDad. And of course, my site's available all the time at thesecuredad.com. I'm Andy Murphy, reminding you that our safety is our own responsibility.